to yet another episode of Lifeline with Faith, and I'm your host, Anita Gotu. And on today's show, we're going to talk about Christian youths and relationships. And with me, I have a guest. He's not just an extraordinary guest, he's a relationship expert, and he goes by the name Francis. I'll give him the chance to introduce himself, to let him tell us what he does and what a relationship expert is all about. So, Francis, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting. Yes.
And I would like you to introduce yourself and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Francis Kathambana. I'm a relationship expert, or I'm a relationship coach, not expert, with a clinical with a clinical psychology degree. So, and what I do as a relationship coach is basically help people understand how to relate better in a relationship.
Okay, thank you so much for being here. And I believe, so whatever we just want to talk about today is so interactive, like this is just a conversation, and I'm sure it won't benefit just I alone. I'm sure so many people, whoever is watching, will really benefit from this.
Okay.
So, Francis, allow me to ask you my first question. So, how does a Christian youth, or how should a Christian youth, or just rather a youth, build their relationship?
So when we look at relationships, there is one big, there are a couple of things that we have to look at. So the way we think about it is there's a young man and there's a young lady. They look at each other, they like each other, and then chemistry happens, and generally that's what we call a relationship. Am I correct?
Sure.
Yeah. However, from where I stand, there are a few things that you have to look at. Yeah. First of all, me as a person, who am I? What do I want? You know. And then there's a young lady, you know, like Annette, a good, yeah. What does she, who is she? What does she want? Yeah. And for me, one of the biggest issues that people do not know who they are and what it is that they want in a relationship. The other part about that is when we come together, yeah, what does it actually mean? What does it, what do I want in this relationship? Yeah, what does what I want? How is it being met? And then the other person needs, how am I meeting
Their needs.
Those other needs? My partners or my relationship person, how am I meeting their needs? Yeah, and their needs, the needs can actually fall into two categories. The ones I think about, and the ones which are really at the core of who I am. Yeah, and the ones I think are easy because it's logical. I want to be given flowers every so often. You know, I want to be taken for a movie. Yeah, I want my girlfriend to come and watch with me my new game. You know, something like that. But then the ones inside are a bit harder because we don't even know them very well. Yes.
So in short, Francis, what you're saying is before one builds a relationship,
Yes.
I as a person, I should know what I want.
Yes.
I should know what I want out of that relationship.
True.
Same to that person, my other partner, right?
Exactly.
And also I think that we should also have goals, like what do you want to achieve after this relationship, right? Or in this relationship, what do you want to achieve?
I think I don't like using the word goals because goals are things that you can achieve, isn't it? But in majority of the times when you join or when you get into a relationship, we don't get into a relationship for 2 days or for 2 weeks or for 1 month or for 1 year.
Exactly.
It's a long term.
Long term.
Yeah, or we are hoping that the relationship will actually be long term.
Sure.
Yeah. So when you look at a long term end, I don't want to call it a goal. I prefer to use the word vision.
Vision. Okay.
Isn't
That's
it?
a better term,
Yeah, it's
vision.
what is it I want eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this to look like. Yeah, therefore I can work towards that eventuality. For example, by setting a goal. Yeah. Of,
so now that's where the goal comes
in the next 2 weeks, what is it that I want to find about you so that I can know, am I going to stay with you for long term or a short or is it going to end? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And also, now, how does a relationship become exclusive? Now we've known each other
So
and all that.
exclusivity is is interesting. Yeah, in that what I mean, what we are saying is that I am yours. Yeah, only yours,
Yeah,
and you are mine,
yeah.
only mine. Yeah, and uh, that is an agreement that has to be reached. Yeah, it is a way you develop the relationship. Yeah, in the early stages of life of getting to know each other, we like using the word I like you, you like me, and you know, and you complete me. I am not. Yeah.
I'm nobody without you. All
Exactly.
those.
Yeah. But and in those sentences, there is already a hint of exclusivity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is there somehow.
Yeah.
But at that added relationship, part of the relationship, you can't really say you're exclusive. You're just having fun with each
Yeah,
other.
you're still getting
Yeah.
to know
You're
each
trying to
other.
get to know each other. Uh, and at that particular early stage of a relationship, it's still okay to have options,
Sure.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So exclusivity is it comes to a place where, as you grow your relationship, when you like uh, the way that person is, how they look at themselves, how what kind of values that they have, you know, how they, you know, when you decide that this person, I really want to spend more time with
With
that
that
person,
person, yeah.
and then you can discuss exclusivity. Yeah. And exclusivity is okay, now we can become steady, me
Yeah,
and you,
yeah.
and no one else.
Sure.
Yeah.
And like so now,
Yes.
like at that point, your main focus is this one person.
Exactly. But again, it's still not, it's not like till death do us part. It's still, I am going
You're
to
still
focus
open
on
for
you.
options.
Yeah, no, I want to build my relationship with you. Yeah, with a view of making it solid enough so that we can see whether we either can get married or have children or have a long-term
Family,
future.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is still before, can I say, before engagement,
Yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
all those other things.
So it's
Yeah.
like, is it like courtship or something?
It's part of courtship. It is when you actually, I like saying that's when courtship really begins. When you decide, let's work at me and you, and let's see how we can build this relationship. Yeah, and then see whether we can have a future together. Yes.
Wow, that's so amazing.
Yes.
Oh my God. There are so many things I'm going to learn today from you, Francis.
Yes.
And so just allow me to ask you this. What is the best advice you can give to a single person in their singleness?
So I think as a Christian, I think we're told love one another as you love yourself,
Yes, and as Christ loved the church.
and as Christ loved the church. Yeah, but you can never really love somebody else until you have loved yourself.
Self enough.
Exactly, and not enough, because I don't know whether it's you can actually love yourself enough.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
to
you
love
can
yourself enough. I mean, all the love that you have in your heart, give it to yourself
precisely,
first.
precisely, and you cannot really love yourself if you really don't know yourself.
True.
Yeah, it becomes very hard to love something you don't know. Yeah, so the first thing I would ask any person who is single is to take time to learn about themselves.
Themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you learn yourself by being in different situations. Yeah, so part of loving yourself, for example, is taking care of your body. Okay, so what does your body like? Yeah, in terms of exercise, in terms of diet. Yeah, in terms of like a lady, how, what's the best clothes that bring out my body shape?
The best
Yeah,
in you, like make you
yes,
feel confident in yourself.
exactly. Yeah, and please, the fundamentals are always try and make sure that you look good every single day, not for other people outside there,
Just for yourself.
but for yourself. Yeah, and looking good is not expensive, but looking good is important. Yeah?
Important.
Yes. The other thing about it is always ensure that you have enough energy. Yeah, that means that you're getting enough rest and getting the right kind of food.
Food, yeah.
Yeah. Again, depending on who you are, what your beliefs are, what your faith is, and what it is that you want to do, that may look different for people. There are those who are going to say, I'm only a vegetarian. There are those who are going to say, I only eat meat. You know, yeah. But make sure you're getting the right food, the right nutrition. And then definitely part of knowing yourself is exercise. You, as a young person, you have to spend time exercising.
Exercising.
Yeah.
Some of us are very lazy in doing that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hatutaki kuchoka.
Yes. So that's first part of knowing yourself. Your physical body. Yeah. There are very many circles you go to as a Christian, and you're told your body is
The temple of God.
the temple of God, and the temple of God has to be clean.
At all times.
It has to be looking good.
Yeah.
It has to be fit. All those things. It's not just about defiling the body, but also keeping it good enough that the good Lord, if he was to come and look at you, say, "Yeah, with that."
Wow. Wow. Look at my child. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So the second part about that is that you have to know yourself mentally.
Mentally. So
Yeah.
like you have to be mentally fit.
Yes. I think the word is more, there's mental fitness and mental health.
Health. I think the two go hand in hand. I don't know.
Exactly. So in terms of mental, is what are you, the first thing is, are you aspiring for anything? Yeah? Are you working towards
Achieving anything.
being beyond the body that you can see? Are you working towards being somebody? Yeah? Yeah? Whether it is within a career or you're developing yourself mentally, are you reading? As a young person, the biggest shortcoming is that young people don't read. Yeah? And you know, it's important to be able to read. It
Yeah.
improves not only your ability to speak, yeah, and communicate, it also deepens how you understand the world.
Yeah, and how
Yeah.
you think also.
And especially how you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in certain places we talk about thinking being a skill. Si ati umekaa hivi
Tunakaa hivi so
ati
people
I'm thinking
anafikiria.
no.
No.
Yeah, so you have to be able to read, expose yourself to different things. By the way, it's reading things like novels. We're not talking about serious reading. It's reading novels. It's reading these two books like how to self-help books.
Yeah.
Again, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when possible, also read other stuff. Read spiritual books. Read a physics book. Yeah, it's about getting
The knowledge, the skills.
and then the third part, and again, which is very important, is your spiritual development, which is different from your physical, and it's different from your mental. Yeah, and this is about how you relate to your Creator,
Yeah.
whoever you feel He is. Those of us who are Christians, we know it's about God and His Son, Jesus Christ. How do you relate to that person? Yeah.
Yeah, so like building a solid relationship with God first.
Yes.
It's also important.
It's very, very important. And I normally ask, if I come to you and ask, are you a good Christian? Yeah. The Bible tells us, Jesus gave us 2 rules. Among the many things that He did, He gave us 2 rules. The first one was, love God with all your heart and strength and might, isn't it?
Yeah.
The second one is, love your neighbor.
Love your neighbor.
Yeah. So
those are the two
so,
content with a promise.
Yes. So we ask, if I look at you, are you loving God? Can people around you say you actually love God?
Yeah, like does my action really show that I love God?
Precisely. And secondly, are your actions showing that you love your neighbor? Yeah. Now, if you do those things and you're going to church, participating in the community of Christians around you, yeah, then we can see, so if you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your mind, you're taking care of your spirit, then that is a foundation of getting to know yourself. There are three other places that, again, it's important to notice, because as a young person, you need to think about them. Yeah? First of all is your relationships. And please, these are relationship with your father, relationship with your mother, and your siblings, first and foremost. Your relationship with your extended family, relationship with your friends, relationship with your neighbors around you. Yeah. If I was to ask people to describe you as a person,
how will they?
How do you relate to them? Are you closed off? Are you helpful? Are you are you the kind of people who are just mushene? Yeah. Are you the person who is always taking people to do bad things? You know, the bad influencer. Yeah. So those relationships again matter. So it's important that you know your relationship is supposed to be life-giving. Yeah, not toxic.
Yeah,
but
like it shouldn't be the one who always takes from others, but
exactly.
rather a giver.
The one who
gives life,
yes,
kind of a thing.
yeah. Another thing that you have to be very careful about is your attitude. Yeah.
Wow.
So what is your attitude when you wake up? What
Some of us are very grumpy in the morning.
Precisely. Yeah. So is that a good attitude or is that a bad attitude?
It's Monday again.
Yes, and then you're scratching your head and say, I can't function until I have my coffee, for example. Okay? So attitude is important.
Yes,
it's
it
important
is.
that every day you wake up and jump out of bed and say, thank God I'm alive. Thank God it's another
it's
day
a
to do
beautiful
something
day.
good. Yeah? Even if it's raining outside, you say,
Wow, I
wow,
love the rain.
yeah, we have rain now. Plants are gonna
Finally.
go. Plants are gonna grow.
Kwanza in January.
Yes, vumbi itapungua. You know, whatever it is. Yeah. The final thing that any young person needs to watch for is their behavior.
Behavior.
Yeah. Now behavior is very wide. Yeah. Because a lot of the things that go into behavior are unconscious. Yeah. So we need to be able to know what is our behavior when people look at us. How are we behaving? Yeah. No, I'm not saying that you should always behave nicely when people are looking
around,
at you,
yeah.
but and please note, as a person, you're always behaving one way or another, and people are always reading you. Like the way you're seated here, somebody else being outside is looking at what your body is saying and getting some message out of it.
Yeah.
That's part of behavior. Yeah. So most of us have what we call addictive behaviors. Yeah. Like they eat too much, they drink too much. You know, there is even praying too much.
Too much?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually, in psychology we call it religiosity. It's actually, yes.
It's a behavior.
There are people who are so much into church, but their behavior does not reflect God at all.
Exactly. Yeah. But who are we? We can't judge.
Yeah. So there are those addictive behaviors. Spending too much time on Netflix or on your phone. Yeah.
Or on social media.
Yes. Again, that can be very, very, very addictive.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's too much. You do some things too much, and then you do other things too little. Yeah. So like you might find you don't spend enough time with people. Yeah. Again, for a human being, we are designed to be in presence of other people. So if we spend too much time on our phones and not with people, that's a bad behavior.
Okay, I think I'm guilty.
Yes.
So it's not like I spend too much of my time on my phone.
Yes.
I rarely spend time with people, like, to be honest.
Yes.
Most of the time, I'm working.
Yes.
Like,
so when you're working, there are people around you.
Yeah, so some of my friends feel like I've detached myself from them, which is not really the case.
And therefore, I would like to ask you then, when you think about your friends and the relationship you have, what would you like to see? Yeah? And you know I'm a coach, so I can ask you on air. So what are some of the things you'd like to see?
Okay, I would really like to have that kind of closer relationship with them in such a way that they can think of me whenever they have a problem. They can think of me whenever they are celebrating something. And that means I have to be in their lives.
Exactly. So there you're answering your own question that you have to be in, yeah? That means as much as it is that you're working, you have to create time for your friends. Yeah? And that will also happen when we talk about relationships. One of the biggest things about relationship is that we like each other, but we think somehow that the relationship will build itself. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, we have to create time specifically to build that relationship.
Just like I said, I think this interview, it's like actually I'm the one learning here, but I hope everyone else is learning. So we are going to, before we take a break, I just want to ask you a random question. If you are fruit, what fruit would you be and why?
Oh, me? I think I would actually be a strawberry.
Strawberry, why?
Yeah, it's extremely delicious. It's full of nutrients.
Aha, okay.
Yeah. If not a strawberry, a pomegranate. Pomegranate. Yeah. One
Whatever
of the
the
two.
pronunciation.
Those. Yeah. Inaitwa ile kukumanga, the big red. That one.
Yes, that one.
Yes. So it is red, and strawberries are red, and they're juicy and they're beautiful. Yes.
So I think red is your favorite color. All right.
Yes.
So guys, we're going to take a short commercial break and we'll be back.